Yeah.
Okay. Well, class, you can move up if you want. We've got a guest speaker today. This is Aly Lichter. She graduated in May. So she's just a recent graduate. I mean, a year ago, she could have been sitting where you were sitting. She's got a degree in finance, I believe, from the School of Business and Nonprofit Management. And she's been a go-getter ever since I met her. She was in micro her freshman year and has been a very good student. But what differentiated her from many others is her uncanny work ethic when it came to getting an internship and landing a job. So she's a natural account manager, which she's going to talk about. And this class is on marketing channels and supply chain. So one of the marketing channels is something called trade marketing, which is really in the hands of the marketing people, but more in the hands of the salespeople. Would you agree?
I would agree. Yeah.
So she's going to talk about that and, kind of maybe touch upon how hard it is or what you got to do to find a job.
Yeah.
I tell students all the time finding a job is a full-time job. So I think she would agree with that too. So without any further ado, Aly, and this is being recorded, so I can share it with the students that aren't here.
All right. Well, like Gabor said, I'm going to teach you guys about trade marketing and sales account management, but like I just graduated 4 months ago. I know exactly how it feels to be sitting in these seats right now. And so we're going to talk a little bit about, I just want to get to know you guys a little bit, but we're going to do, get this to go. We're going to cover today an introduction to my journey, what is trade marketing, sales account management, and then real world examples that I see every single day. Then we're going to do a takeaway, and then I'll just open up for questions. But if there's any questions at any time, feel free to stop me. All right. So I don't really know. I know some of you guys, you all three in the front row, I know you guys, but is there any sophomores in the room? All right, Gabor was right. Raise your hand if you're a junior. And then raise your hand if you're a senior. Okay, it's like 50-50. All right, the last question is raise your hand if you're looking for internships or if you're looking for a full-time job or want one within the next few years. Your guys' hands should all be up. All right, perfect. So a little bit about me. My name is Aly Lichter. I graduated in May of 2025 with BS in Finance. I played golf on the women's golf team when I was here for 4 years. It was a ton of fun. I made a lot of new friends and memories, and I know that North Park is filled with athletes, so really just soak it all in and enjoy it for 4 years because now it's something that I miss every single day. I was a field sales intern at Body Armor Sports Nutrition, and now I'm a market development manager at Good to Grow. All right, so I know that some of you guys said you're looking for internships or full-time jobs, so I'm gonna kind of explain it to you guys a little bit because you guys are either have started looking, maybe some of you guys have not started looking, and like Gabor said, it really is a full-time job looking for opportunities. Think about it. You guys are all looking for them, but there's thousands of other universities out there that all their students are looking for one as well. My biggest advice to you guys is to look for some that are reachable, that you know somebody that can help you get it, but also reach for the stars and like the moon. The worst thing that somebody's going to tell you is no. And being told no is not that bad. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about my internship journey because it really was like a whirlwind. I remember I sat down in October of my junior year with Hawkinson, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I had no idea if I wanted to go into finance, if I wanted to go into data analytics. I didn't know if sales was the thing for me. And I remember sitting there and I was like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, keep on looking, you'll figure it out. Well, that was October. Come December, it's winter break. I'm sitting down at my house over winter break, had nothing to do. Started working on my resume a little bit. I worked at a golf course for 2 years. My freshman and sophomore year, I was an assistant pro at a golf course in Lake Bluff, Illinois, so like 40 minutes north. And I was like, okay, maybe golf is something that I want to do. So I work on my resume, get it filled out, send it to Kaminsky over winter break. Now, do you guys really think that Kaminsky was going to answer my email over winter break? No. So I call him, I'm like, hey, Happy New Year. Can we set up a Teams meeting so you can go over my resume? And he was like, Aly, it is winter break. Find me the first week of second semester. I said, okay. So I wander in his office and he goes, so you started applying, right? I said, no. I didn't start applying until mid-January. And by that time, all of them were closed. All of the job postings were like, you would submit them and hear nothing back. And I was like, okay, great. So the numbers of that I started applying started racking up more and more and more. And all of a sudden, I'm 62 like job postings, like of submitting my resume. And what have I heard from anybody? Nothing. Nobody was responding to me. Nobody was giving me no. Nobody was giving me first round interviews, maybe a few here and there, but nothing that I was really excited for. So I keep on looking. I'm opening up my Excel file tracker, being like, haven't heard back, haven't heard back. And all of a sudden I'm on LinkedIn one day and I see the Coca-Cola company. And I'm like, yep, no way is somebody going to choose little me from North Park. They're going to choose some kid from an Ivy League school. They're never going to give me a chance. But I said, you know what? The worst that they could do is tell me no. So I go ahead, I submit my resume. A week later, I get an email saying, hey, Aly, we would love to have you interview to be a field sales intern in Chicago. I said, great, sign me up. So I'm interview prepping for a whole entire week straight. I'm jittery, I'm nervous. What happens when I get on my first round interview? Hey, Aly, we're so sorry to tell you that the job has already been given away to somebody else. So I felt defeated. I was like, oh God, what am I going to do with my life? I have no other options right now, so just keep on applying. I respond back, thank you so much for letting me know. I see that the job posting in Indianapolis is still open. May I please apply? Yeah, sure. Go through my first round, my second round. After the second round, I'm feeling so great. My number one advice is if you guys go through an interview process, email the people that you interview with and say, thank you so much for your time. Please let me know if there's anything else I can give you. Leave it as like that. Just thank them for their time. I heard nothing back for 3 weeks. So I emailed the recruiter. I said, hey, I've heard nothing thus far. Am I still in consideration for this role? Hey, Aly, we're so sorry to tell you we actually gave it away to another student. I said, thanks for your time. So then the third time comes around and I keep on seeing it pop up and it says Pensacola, Florida. Mind you, I'm from Chicago. I've only lived in Chicago. I have no family down in Pensacola, Florida. Said, I have no other options right now that really spark my interest in something that I want to do when I graduate. So I said, let me interview. So I go through my job interview. I go through first round, second round, which was a one-on-one. Then I go through the third round of 8 people in a panel. Then I go through the other round, which had like the vice president, all these leadership people on like this Teams call. And I thought I killed it. I felt so good afterwards. I was like, oh my goodness, I was hugging my roommate, telling her, oh my God, I think I got it. I think I got it. Well, 3 days go by. No one's answered my email on if I'm still in consideration. So in my head, I think, you failed 3 times. So I walk over to Kaminsky's office. He was like my advisor and basically my best friend. And I remember I sat there and I cried. And you. But you weren't there. It was the day that he was not there. And I remember I sat there. I cried. Like I literally like had my hands in my head, like bawling my eyes out going, I'm a failure. I'm a failure. And he was like, keep on looking. Something will either find you or go find a job for the summer up home. I was like, so I think Gavin's like one of my best friends. I think I grabbed him and I said, you're going for a walk with me. And I'm crying. Like I'm literally like, dude, I'm a failure. I can't find anything. I'm one of the hardest people on myself you'll ever meet, which is probably why I'm such a determined person. But it really just shows that so many people will let you down without even telling you that they let you down. So sure enough, I get back to my apartment. My walk was great, probably screamed a few times, whatever. And I'm laying in my bed, and I'm just like, oh my God, just let this end, give me something. And I get a phone call from an Atlanta number. I answer the phone, go, hi, this is Aly Lichter. She goes, hey, Aly, we would like you to be our next field sales intern in Pensacola, Florida. And I said, great, sign me up. Signed my contract, went up to my parents, said, hey, I'm moving for 3 months down to Florida. And I never looked back after that. So that just really shows that, like, don't get discouraged by getting told no. If nobody answers you, let it be. You will find the place that you guys deserve to be. And for me, it worked out really well. So I was a field sales intern at Body Armor. I lived in Pensacola, Florida. During my time there, I sold 235,000 cases of Body Armor Empowered in 10 weeks. Out of that, I was responsible for 75 plus national retail accounts within Walmart's, Target, Publix's, Piggly Wiggly's, Tom Thumb's, pretty much any account that carried Body Armor Empowered, which was like 100%. I would have to go inside of talked to store directors, store managers, selling displays for rollbacks inside of Walmarts. And it was a ton of fun, but that's 6 hour span of territory from Mobile, Alabama to Panama City, Florida. I was driving so much, but it was pretty. I did sampling events for Walmart grand openings and for the Blue Angel Air Show with over 175,000 plus attendees on a small little island. It was pretty fun. I just got to drive around like a golf cart all day. Prime was out there, like Gatorade was out there, and you literally go up to people, say, hey, you like this? And you just dump a Gatorade down like a drain and hand them a body armor. Ton of fun. And then because of what I did, I sold 235,000 cases, but second place only sold in 80,000. So because I was the #1 field sales intern for the summer, I got to present at the Coca-Cola headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, to the Body Armor and Coca-Cola leadership team. There was like 18 execs in a room with me, and I was just sitting there, standing and giving a presentation. My biggest thing is a lot of people don't know what North Park is. Out of all the interns there, we all went to New York. And the CEO came up to me, he's like, Aly, I see what you've been doing. I was like, yeah, it's great. And his whole entire lecture that he gave us, or like presentation, was about being an underdog. And that really spoke to me because Body Armor and Powerade are the underdogs of Gatorade. Gatorade is always going to be the #1. People always are going to choose Gatorade for the most part over Body Armor and Powerade. And he looks at me and goes, so tell me more about North Park. What is it like? How many kids go there? And I said, oh, it's on the north side of Chicago, about 2,000 kids, probably 400 in my graduating class, I'd presume. And he looked at me and goes, how does it feel to be the only one here not from a big name school or an Ivy League? And I just looked at him straight in the eyes. I said, it feels fucking great to be an underdog. And I never spoke to him after. But after that, just everyone kept on telling me, you're going back to Coke, right? Gavor thought I was going to go back. Everyone 100% thought I was going back to Coca-Cola. Everyone's like, we'll make a job for you by the time that you graduate. Stay in touch with us. We'd love to hear what you're doing at school. But sure enough, time came down to it. And every single few weeks, I'd reach in and say, hey, you got an update? Same exact thing as the internship progress. Nothing. I got nothing for you. So since my name wasn't legally bounded to a document, I just kept on searching. Now, with full-time jobs are a little bit tricky. I applied to 78 full-time jobs and only got an offer of 10. Now, I knew at the end of my internship that I wanted to go into sales. I wanted to be in the CPG industry. I liked not sitting down at a computer all day. If anybody knows anything about me, I'm probably one of the most ADHD-driven people, and I need to be going constantly. Otherwise, my brain, I won't do a good job. So full-time jobs, what I recommend is if you've had prior job experience, really utilize that in your guys' resumes to tailor towards what you want to do. And if you're looking for a full-time job and you don't know what to do, what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, a lot of people that take internships, you realize if you like what you did, you're going to stick with it. Out of us, and I think there was 9 field sales interns, only 2 of us stayed within the CPG sales industry. So that's 2 out of 9. A lot of people went elsewhere, went into pharmaceutical sales. Really, the world is meant to be yours to figure out what you want to do. And let's just say, you get your first job out of college and you're like, yes, this is what I want to do. That's great. Stick with it. But if it's not, there's thousands of other companies that you can always go for. So I believe that full-time jobs, when you apply for them, there's entry level, which are straight out of college jobs, but there's also ones that are not. So there's jobs that require 3 to 5 years of experience. I say, screw that. Whatever you guys have experience-wise, apply for it. The biggest thing that you'll hear me say today is they'll just tell you no. Body Armor and Powerade didn't want me back because I didn't have 3 to 5 years of experience. I had 3 months. The job that I have right now posted on their thing and said 3 to 5 years of experience. I said, all right, I'm already 78 full-time job applications done. Somebody can just tell me no, that's fine. I applied. I went through. HR actually denied my resume. Found that out a month ago. And they're like, yeah, she's too young. She won't be good at this. But safe to say that everyone slowly ate their words on that one. So I'm a market development manager at Good to Grow. I started May 12th. May 10th was graduation, so I went straight out of college into this role. I run all of the Chicagoland suburbs and Southern Illinois. The city of Chicago belongs to somebody else. I didn't want it. I run Walmart's, Target's, Jewel-Osco's, Meijer's, gas stations, Tony Fresh Market, Woodman's, independent stores, gas stations, you name it, I'm in there. I work with a beer distributor, so they distribute all the Anheuser-Busch products within Illinois. So they also do like Liquid Death, like non-alcoholic wise. They do Prime, they do Nesquik, they do a lot of brands. I think they have over 95 brands, and I'm just one of like them. So a lot of what I do is I sell in displays at store level. That actually is one that I did for back to school in Myers in Champaign, Illinois. I basically have to grow all my core accounts in Illinois faster than the rest of the market. So let's say the market's growing, all of like the United States is growing at 40% for juices for like the year. Right now I'm growing mine 183%. I basically work with store directors to get displays and build relationships. That way further on when new products drop, we have a sale, which we'll talk more about. You basically like, sometimes I have to like force people's hand to be like, hey, like this will sell really, really well. And you basically have to work with them to form a relationship to basically be like, you know what, I trust you. Go do it. I trust you. Come back in 2 weeks. Let's pull up like the numbers and let's go from there. So a little bit about my company, because it's basically all my examples I'm going to talk about. So Good to Grow is the fastest growing juice company in the United States. We have an extensive retail footprint of over 200,000 retail locations in grocery, mass, and convenience stores. Basically, we sell milks, juices, crackers in a reusable container with a licensed character toy, and we have over 300 plus licensed character toppers. What's kind of interesting is when you go buy Capri Sun's the same exact thing inside of a little pouch. With ours, you get a 3-in-1. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive, which people argue about that all the time with me. But in the end, it sells, and it's by far one of like the greatest kids juice companies ever. I'm not just saying that because I work there. The facts actually add up to it too. Why isn't okay? All right, so going into trade marketing. Before I go there, does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, perfect. So trade marketing, the definition is increasing demand for a product at the retailer, distributor, or wholesaler level, rather than directly with consumers. So basically what this means for like somebody like me, that's like, you can basically call me a sales representative. I'm walking inside of a store. You have to like think about where you want your product to go. Where does it need to be? Honestly, I'm not even worried about adults when it comes to stuff like this. Like a lot of people try to pay for space. So if you're walking inside of a Walmart, where do you think people want like the Gatorade singles to be? Anybody have a guess? It's a good one. Checkout's the main, this is like a fun fact. The checkout like section at a like any store, that's the #1 place that stores make their money. It's crazy. People pay so much money to get in like those front end coolers at Jewel-Osco, Walmart, Targets. Because think about it. You go through your shopping, let's say you grab some Cheez-Its, you grab some other stuff like the week, but you're really, really thirsty. You're not going to grab something warm off the home shelf and drink it. You want to grab something cold, so you're going to grab it. But that's also stuff that people pay like hundreds and thousands of dollars for. Like Pepsi probably spends close to, actually, I think it's like like $250,000 a year to keep space inside those front end coolers up front. My company, we pay for them in Myers and sometimes Target. But for like the most part, all that stuff is done by me, and I have to try to leverage their sales to do better than last year. For sales account management, it's the process of building and maintaining strong relationships with retailers, ensuring product availability, sales growth, strategic planning, and execution. Oftentimes, because my product specifically comes from a distributor, my execution has to be with my distributor. So I basically, there's nobody from my company below me, but I run every single sales rep underneath my distributor. Like I work with them every single day, calling, texting, saying, hey, I sold this and it needs to be here on Friday on your next delivery. They have to make sure that they execute it, they get it done. I need to make sure they've got product on hand at their warehouse that comes all the way from Lakeland, Florida for us. That's where our like processing plant is. And it's just, I have to make sure that they always have stuff on hand because I can't go sell stuff that I don't have. Like, let's say they got one more pallet left of apple, like apple juice. Let's say I go through it. All of a sudden there is none. What if it takes 2 to 3 weeks for them to have? I constantly have to look at numbers and try to get them to order more and more and more. Now, the way that I think about it is because trade marketing and sales account management kind of can get roped in hand to hand and get a little bit blurred. Would you agree? A little bit? Yeah. So the way that I think about it is trade marketing creates demand and sales account management ensures execution. The focus of trade marketing is to drive shoppers' demand in store. The tools that we have is displays, promotions, pricing strategies. We work with, it's a sales representative and the distributor, sometimes also store directors. Then the goal is to create visibility and conversion at shelf and displays. With sales account management, the focus is managing retailer relationships. The tools is negotiation, space allocation, and performance tracking. And I work with, for example, I work with Walmart. Walmart is one of my main customers, my main consumers. Walmart actually has the lowest pricing for any product anywhere, unless it's like an independent grocery store that like you can negotiate price with. But Walmart should always be the lowest for any company. And the goal is to ensure availability, grow sales, and strengthen relationships. So now we're going to go into some examples. So for trade marketing, Walmart's, like I said, we're going to be focusing all on Walmart's today. But with Walmart's, rollbacks are Walmart's #1 priority. Frito-Lay and Pepsi and Coke all are really good about having rollbacks, but that's mainly because their product's a little bit cheaper, doesn't cost as much to manufacture, and overall, like, there's really nothing that like those brands have to do differently. Like my brand, you think about it. I'm sure you guys have talked a lot about tariffs, whether in this class or other classes, or you guys have talked a lot about tariffs, but tariffs really do impact the company. Specifically, my company, we used to be cheaper. At Walmart, you used to be able to get our product for $2.97. Now it's $3.27. We had to take a 30-cent increase within Walmart's because of the tariffs overseas. Our character toppers are made in Taiwan and China. Because of the tariffs, everything increased. And I think so are like the bottles, but to get everything over here to the United States, it costs so much more money to expedite it. The return on investment. You really have to show to a store why your product matters. Think about it. Walmart has over, like 300,000 different products within their store. What makes your product better than everybody else's? What makes you stand out? Why should they allocate that space for you? And so it's really important to show them that. And then also, since my sales reps have over 75 different brands that they have to manage and place orders for every single day, why should they care about me? That's really like the main point of it. So that's actually an example of what I have to send. For every single store that I walk into, I have to send my sales rep that so they can understand what to order and how to make it look pretty. Basically, I sell an end caps inside of Walmart's. It's like the biggest thing for me is trying to get that extra space inside of Walmart's. My product's a lot different than Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Frito-Lay, because all those stuff, you like your own chips, you like your own drink, you're going to go and look for like that. Compared to us, we're not something that the average person puts on their grocery shopping list. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go buy a Woody apple juice at Walmart. The odds of them actually having the character topper is very, very slim. Believe it or not, like sometimes I have to think about it, and parents probably hate me for it, but you put them in locations that are so extremely visible that you're walking through the store, you've got your child with you, they're screaming, they're yelling at you, they see a toy, well, it shuts them up, and you're going to be willing to spend $3.27 or $4.27 on a little juice. And it's insane. Like, people always tell me it's not going to sell, but we'll get into that in like the next slide. This is a photo of me and my Coca-Cola distribution guys. Basically, I have to work with them to execute for Walmart because that's the bridge in between me. I work with store directors all day long, negotiate, do whatever I have to do. But in the end, the distributor has to be that middleman to actually get it done. Otherwise, it's going to make me look like an idiot. If they don't execute and I walk back in the store and say, hey, like, my display was never put up, they're going to be like, yeah, Lakeshore didn't order for it. I'm going to be like, great. So it's really important to keep everybody as a tight-knit puzzle and to work together. And mind you, like, in regards to like Walmart, majority of their stuff goes from their warehouse on Walmart trucks to the store. And there's like no vendors that like work for like those brands. So like every single day and every single account near here, you've got Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Frito-Lay, Mondelez, us, like beer distributors. All alcohol cannot come on a truck, so everything has to come from a vendor in like the laws in Illinois. So there's constantly people always, like if you guys have never seen them before, trust me, they're somewhere inside of Walmart doing something. Now with sales account management, like I said, it can get kind of blurred. So performance tracking, this is an image that I have of one of my Walmarts. This is Nielsen store level data. So everybody within the CPG industry has this for their product. You have to pay a lot of money for it. But what's nice is I can type in a store number. So like, let's say like Walmart 3204, which is actually this photo. I literally go up to store directors. I say, hey, you guys are selling 50 units off the home shelf right now. Normally, typically, we see like a 300 to 400% lift on display. They're like, I don't believe you. And you show them examples. This Walmart, I took from doing 50 units a week to all of a sudden they're doing 200. And it shows that we deserve that space and that it's worth their investment. If they're making $1.10 per bottle, which Walmart does 6 ounces, you're looking at a lot of money that they're making incrementally. If they can keep that up and keep it going, that's what we want the most. Problem solving and co-branding. There's nothing that Walmart hates more than for you to have products sitting in like the back of a room. That's why you'll see reps constantly working their product out from like the back. They got a shipment coming in. I see Frito-Lay do it all like the time. Frito-Lay is constantly stocking like their shelves because their products are going out of stock, so you have to do something. So actually, when I worked for Body Armor and Powerade, we dropped a limited time edition Dude Perfect body armor. I don't know if any of you guys ever had it, but it was like really good. And the thing is like they got force shipped that out. So at Coca-Cola, I went to my distributors and I said, hey, send like 200 cases to each store, and I'll take care of it. That was a lot of work for my behalf, but the thing is that people don't have space. You didn't pay for it, did you? No. And so you have to think creatively. So the thing that got me my full-time job and that everyone knew me as an intern for was I was doing things that I've never really been done within the CPG industry before. I decided, okay, Dude Perfect, you have to like really know your like surroundings and kind of like who your demographic is. So they make like children's toys, very well known on social media. Let's just put it by the Dude Perfect toys inside the toy aisle. You never really see food and beverage over there. Normally, a lot of distributors won't even do it because it's too much work to deal with. My guys are like, I like your logic, I like your thinking, go do it. So this is a ball pit inside of a Walmart inside of Alabama. We put it there and they sold out of it in 2 days. Relationship management, it's just really important that like when you get a display, you show them the tracking that you've got for like the store directors, assistant store directors, whoever it may be, to show why you deserve it and why you deserve more. Like this store specifically, this is a Meijer. I know it's not Walmart, but they're similar footprints, kind of. I had a display up in there. Another retailer, like another sales rep, came in 2 days after me and said, yeah, she didn't pay for it, right? We're just going to take it down, and never told anybody. So I went to the store director and I said, hey, my display's down. Where did it go? I was like, it didn't sell through. I can see on my phone it didn't sell through. He goes, what do you mean it's gone? What do you think happened to every single vendor that took my space? The store director yelled at them and told them, it's like, if you want to get fired, you can get fired. Like, that's how important relationships go, because this was never planned for. I didn't ask for a whole entire cooler or a whole entire cooler topper. This was Pepsi's cooler. They paid for it. The store director said, you disrespected me, you disrespected my store, Aly's taking it. He said, have it all, come back next week. Gave me 3 more displays where Pepsi normally was. And he was like, I like her better. So it's all about creating that relationship and showing why it's so important to work with people. And then category growth. If you guys ever know, like you guys probably see all the time on social media. I know I see it a lot, but this is also the industry that I work in. You guys constantly see like the new evolution of new drinks that are coming out, right? Like I see Dr. Pepper over there. They just came out with a new one actually like 2 days ago. So they're constantly like, everybody's constantly trying to find what's the new drink for kids, like, or like for people, for adults. Like Poppy getting bought out. Like all these people are transitioning companies and going elsewhere with things. And that's more of like a mergers and acquisitions thing. But it's really important that you stay relevant with the current trends for companies. And I know I'm a creative person. I could come up with 5 things right now that I want to invent. Do I have the money to invest? No. But the thing is that you constantly are competing with new LTOs. Like the Alani Nu Witch's Brew became the #1 like energy drink in just literally 2 weeks. My distributors distribute Alani. All of a sudden they force ship pallets out to every single store. It was gone within like 2 days, and people are constantly trying to find it and do things with it. Same with like the alcohol industry. Like if you guys know anything about like that, I know you guys might be too young to drink, but that's not what I'm asking for. But like if you guys do anything about like Bush Apple, it was literally all over the internet. Like nobody could miss it. And that all sold out for my distributors within 1 day. It was gone. So it's just really important to have that relationship with people and just follow up constantly with people because they deserve your time. All right, so the key takeaways, these are all definitions of those to take away, but really what I want you guys to leave with from today, if there's only one thing that you guys take away from me, it would literally just be like, start applying right now, start getting your resumes together, start asking your professors, ask a whore to go grab a cup of coffee, go have them figure out what you want to do with your life, because I mean, I figured it out pretty fast, but if you can't tell, like I said before, like I'm the most determined person you'll ever meet. Like I literally keep on telling like our vice president of my company, like he was like, we all doubted you, kid. And I was like, yeah, but I showed you, like I'm good at what I do. This is what I love to do. And I want to keep on doing what I'm doing. Like you guys just really have to apply yourself. You have to take it seriously. Like in the end, these are people like when you interview for jobs, like next summer, supposedly I might be getting an intern. Maybe one of you guys will be my intern. I don't know. Like in the end, you guys really have to apply yourselves. Like professors can tell you over and over and over for you to do something, but it's really up to you guys in like the end of what you guys want to do. And so if you guys ever, like if I'm hiring an intern, feel free to apply. Like I'll probably hire a North Park student, but pretty much that's all that I have for you guys. That's my email. If you guys ever want me to go over your guys' resumes, or if you guys ever want like to set up a Teams call, I'm always around North Park for the most part. So like my little sister goes here, some of my friends go here, so I'm always down here. You guys can follow me on LinkedIn. You guys can message me. I will literally make time for you guys in my schedule. I really, really want to help you guys and other students get internships and get full-time jobs. Like I will take time out of my busy day to help you guys. You guys just have to ask for it. Like that's the biggest thing that kids my age struggle to do, just from talking from people. When I was like, oh, did you get an internship yet? They're like, no. It's because you don't apply yourself. So it's like, if you guys ask for help, I'm a firm believer, if you ask for help, you deserve the help. But no one's just going to help you if you don't ask for it. So without that, does anybody have any questions? It could literally be about what I taught you guys about sales account management and trade marketing. It could be about internships, jobs, whatever it may be. I'm an open book. So anybody have any questions? No? All right, perfect. Yeah. So what's your question?
That was very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I expected it to be very good.
Thank you.
Let's see. You at one point you were saying that, and this is probably what a lot of students feel. If you're looking for a job, it's like the most important thing you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I applied for a job I thought was perfect for me once, and once I sent it in, I just looked at the phone and it's going to ring any second now. But it didn't.
Yeah.
And why is that? Well, if I'm running an operation and I'm also hiring, the hiring may not be the most important thing in the next 2 days.
No.
Or 3 days, or.
Like a lot of times, I'm not gonna lie, I actually laughed about this the other day. I was with my boss inside of a Walmart like 2 days ago, and I got an email. I get a lot of emails and like a lot of phone calls and texts. So I just glanced briefly at it, started laughing. I got a job back from Kellogg. They make like the cereal for an internship that I applied for in January of 2024. You did not get the summer internship for 2024. I was like, guys, it's almost 2 years later. I was like, good to know. Like a lot of companies, your resumes go through a computer and they scan it. If it has some like word that it likes, it will move you to this part. If it doesn't, you're going to get overlooked and like skipped. Like my company, they use that software. Mine got skipped. And then my boss was looking through them and was like, no, I want her. I want her to interview. So like, I would say like really utilize everyone that you know. LinkedIn connections. Like I guarantee you, if you were to, let's say you look at my LinkedIn, you see a connection. You're like, oh yeah, this person's in like an industry that I want to know. I will happily contact you with like that person. Any professor here would. Like I think Gabor's done it a few times for me. All my professors have. Like even North Park alumni, that's a great way to go about. Say, hey, I'm blah blah blah. I'm from North Park, graduating in class of blah blah blah, and like explain yourself and just ask for 10 minutes of their time and have questions ready to go. And I guarantee you, it'll work every single time to connect with people.
Spend a half hour.
Yeah, that's true. Like a lot of people are willing to give you your time. Like I always thought like, oh yeah, I'm too scared to. I'm not going to. Like in the end, like my internship, like I did it. Like I didn't know anyone at Coke. I didn't know anyone at Body Armor or Powerade. I didn't know anyone. I just kind of went in blindsided. But there was other opportunities that I got because this person that I knew that knew like this person, and you kind of like piggyback off of people. But it just overall is a determination thing.
And you had another person in your class, Jade Santiago,
She interned for
the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Which everybody would die to get that kind of internship. Or the Coca-Cola. How does she do it? Persistence.
Yeah.
And that's important. Not only were you on the women's golf team, you helped sell the concept of women's golf to create it, didn't you?
First semester of my freshman year. I played volleyball here for one season, and afterwards I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I don't want to be on like the team. And I was like, yeah, I want to transfer. I thought I was going to go to Indiana or Ohio State. And then I realized, OHIO, baby. But I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to go to a big school, go have fun, go party it up, whatever. And then I realized, like, oh, my whole entire life is here. And I said, but what's going to keep me at North Park? I was like, I can't just go to classes. I need something to do. So ironically, all my friends played golf on like the men's team, and jokingly, I was like, take me to practice with you. I didn't have a car at like the time, so I was like, guys, just take me with you in your car. And I show up to practice, I have my clubs, I go up to the head coach, and I'm like, hey Ryan, I said, you want to start a women's golf team? He goes, sure. I said, great. And then it all went from there. And now the program has been around since it started being an NCAA sport in 2022, the fall of 2022. And they're also looking for people to go play. So if you're a girl and you like to golf, tell one of the people on like the golf team because they would love to have more people. Little promo.
All right, some of the business questions. Why is Walmart always the lowest price?
So Walmart's the lowest price just because a lot of the way that Walmart runs is that all their headquarter calls and all their stuff is in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Walmart always wants to be the number one lowest price just because when you think of Walmart, you like everyone's minds kind of go, or maybe they don't, but they should go towards low price, low deals. They constantly have rollbacks, and it's mainly just because of, I believe that the way that it started was a lot of the shoppers that went to Walmart were looking for that lower price because Target's always going to be expensive and everywhere else, and Walmart has the most to offer. Walmart owns Sam's Club, for those of you, or Sam's Club technically owns Walmart, if you did not know like that. So Sam's Club, since it's a wholesaler, and because everything comes in bulk and quantity, they're able to negotiate deals for Walmart. That way, their product is all from the same warehouse. Some goes to Walmart, some goes to Sam's Club. And so they're able to lower their price just because they have so much product and they can make it cheaply. And they, like, it is expensive. Like Walmart usually runs off, I would say for the CPG side of things, so like the food and beverage side, I want to say that their average margin on their items is 42%. On clothes at Walmart, it's 97%. So they're making all the money that they can off of it.
That's high for groceries, isn't it? 42%?
It is, but you also have to think about it in like a way like my product. So like, let's see. I sell a case of 12. So like whenever I go to like independent stores, I can sell them by like the case. So like gas stations are a perfect example. It's 30. So let's go with like 10 ounces. If they buy 3 cases of our 10 ounces, the price is $36 per case. If you break it down to 36 divided by 12 bottles, they're looking at $3 per bottle. They're making $1.69 per bottle. It's just the way that retailers go. Retailers want to make money. Walmart, a lot of times they've got, their shelves are always packed. It holds so much product. They got a lot of stuff in like the back room that's constantly being flushed out, and it's just they have to make money somehow, so they have to have a margin on it. Otherwise, Walmart would never be able to stand up and be like growth.
You use 2 terms. Did everybody understand what a rollback is and what an end cap is?
Yeah.
Well, I never know.
Yeah, because rollback is literally just the sale at Walmart. It's a fancy term. Everyone looks for like those red tags. I never have red tags with my product, but Body Armor always did and Powerade always did. And then end caps are literally anything that's on an end cap, I guarantee you, is something that Walmart's really trying to push because it makes them the most money. But it's also something that grabs the most people attention. Like you might see yourself wandering over to one and it's a product that you've never seen before and you're going to buy it because it looks interesting to you. Like everything inside of Walmart is so strategically planned out. Like it's crazy. The same happens for Julasco, Target, like all these companies that have these displays, they pay upwards of like we're just doing a Target program right now. It's $250,000 for 200 stores to get this promotion. It's ridiculous what people are willing to buy, but you don't get space unless you pay. That's just really how it works for the whole entire CPG industry.
There's not another question?
Nobody has one question. Let's hear it.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing. Well, there's a lot. I would say my favorite part of my job, honestly, it's the way that I see little kids and how much they actually like enjoy my product. My number one thing is that I did not want to go work for a company that I did not align with their values or something. Like Body Armor and Power to Perfect. I was a student athlete, constantly hydrating, one of my two favorite products. But like when I was thinking kids juices, like I don't have children, I don't got younger siblings. I got nieces and nephews, and I did not realize how big this product is within families. And family is something I really, really value within my life. So all of a sudden I started working for this company and I was like, okay, this is great. I sell kids juices for like a living, you know. I was like, okay, great. And I saw my nieces and my nephews and I was like, you guys want one? And I just saw the look on their face and they're like, Bluey! Like they start freaking out. And I'm like, that's why I want to do it. Like I want to make children happy. It's a way to create memories within your childhood. I see parents all over TikTok and social media just love like the product. And honestly, that's the best part of my job is like seeing kids inside of Walmart actually loving my display that I put up, you know, and it just makes you feel really, really good because it would suck to sell a product that's not good for you or not good for your family. Let's hear.
I came here late, so I don't know if you missed it. But you were in the sales department, so a lot of times salespeople they do face rejection. So what's one advice you would want to give? Because I did my sales internship and one-on-one selling. So before going into that, I was like super excited. I was like, I'm gonna like question it, whatever. But it did not end like that. But how did you overcome your like few rejections over the years?
Okay, that's a really good question. The way that I face rejection is pretty funny. There's a lot of things within sales, and I'm sure if you did a sales internship, you know, you constantly ask questions. I remember it so vividly. One of my first few days on like the job, I went up to someone trying to sell on the display, had all my data, all my facts right, whatever. The guy goes, he was like, "Yep, no, bye, have a good one." I said, "May I ask why?" The moment that you ask, "May I ask why?" their brains are like, "Oh, like now I have to come up with an answer." Because a lot of times they're going to tell you no because they just don't want to speak to you. If you ask why, you understand what they're looking for if it's not what your product entails. But also it allows you to open up the door to keep on asking them more and more questions. I had a conversation the other day at the same Walmart that I was with my boss in. I asked the guy 30 questions in a row. My boss was counting in his head. And I slowly started asking him so many questions that he started like roping himself into a yes. Like in the end, this works for like life in general. Like in the end, like relationships are purely just like talking to people. Sales are just talking to people. Just understanding people and where they're coming from, like will get you so far in sales because in the end they tell you no, but they might say, come back in 2 weeks. Well, you better be there in 2 weeks. So you better keep on pursuing. And if they tell you no and come back, you're going to keep on going until they tell you yes. And a lot of times I've had this happen to me where people get so annoyed with me. Like, God, this girl keeps on coming in here and every 2 weeks that they just give me something. So they'll shut me up. And then it stays up for a while. So you just kind of have to like work with people, understand people. I mean, I understand I'm not the number one most important brand out there. I know that. We're a $500 million brand, but there's $1 billion brands everywhere. So that works for all sales though. Anybody else have any questions regarding internship jobs, or am I going to presume that everyone here is an expert? All right.
What is the hardest thing in your
Can you repeat that?
What is the hardest thing in your profession?
The hardest thing in my profession. The hardest thing. That's a really good question. There's a lot of hard things.
Like the part.
The hardest part. I personally feel like the hardest part about my job is I run so many accounts that like I can't even keep them all straight sometimes. I literally had a phone call this morning with another MDM that runs the whole entire state of Indiana. And he was like, dude, like, I missed my layup. Because we call them, like, the joke that we all have is like, oh, you go to a store, they say, yeah, come back in 2 weeks and we'll give you it. We call that a layup, and then you slam dunk it because that's your win. And so many people, like, I mean, I'm driving close to anywhere from 3,000 miles a month to 5,000 miles a month, trying to reach all my stores. Like, honestly, time management is the hardest thing. Like, I'm pretty good at it, but some days I leave at 5:30 in the morning, get to my first store at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and I don't get home sometimes until like 8 p.m. But like for me, it's fine. Like I'm not gonna lie, like for some, like that's what I'm saying. Like if you don't like driving so much, like then like outdoor sales will not be for you. You know, like for me to sit down at a computer all day, if you can't tell, like I sit in my car, I listen to so much music a day. I'm constantly on like the phone taking phone calls. Like sometimes I do team meetings while I'm driving, which is not the safest, but like for me, I like it because it's like you get to like listen to music all day long. Sometimes I do like ride-alongs with my distributor partners. Like yesterday we did. I think that man played Taylor Swift in my car for like 3 hours yesterday. I mean, for me, it's just fun because it's like I have to be responsible like when I'm driving, but like also you have like leeway and free time, kind of. Yes.
Is it easy to give
Like like one with like you need more experience. Is that what you're meaning? Oh, to get like promoted. I would say promotions, our company's rule of thumb is a year. Within a year, I mean, there's a lot of MDMs. Like, I'm the youngest person they've ever hired. They hired me when I was 21. I mean, I'm 22 right now, but the second oldest person to me is 25. Like, for me, it depends on how well you perform. Like, every single week, I can pull up my KPIs, which is like basically how well are you performing compared to other people, and I can see everybody in our companies. Like, I slowly moved up from 59th to all of a sudden now I'm fourth in the nation. So it's like, because of like that, if I can keep that going, I would hope to get promoted within a year and a half. But like all companies are different. It depends on if things are shifting or people are leaving. It all just depends like per each company. Sales usually moves pretty fast, I would say. Sales, it's either you're good at sales or you're not. So, but I think for like finance, I would say like the normal, like my friends that are older than me, they've been with their companies for like 2 or 3 years and they haven't been promoted yet. But it all just kind of like depends on like the person and like the role and the industry. Anybody
They're
else?
saying in some industries, when you get promoted, you should start advocating for your next promotion while executing the job that you've got. Not everybody can do that though. It takes kind of
Yeah.
salesmanship
Yeah.
to.
Like in the end, like sales really is like the revolving door for everything. Like any industry, any job, you constantly have to sell yourself. Like in the end, people are going to believe in you based on what you say, what you do. It's basically like selling everything to anybody.
Did you ever think this was your job?
No, I like 100% had my heart on moving back to Pensacola, Florida. I 100% thought I was going to go be a retail execution specialist at Body Armor Empowered. But in the end, like you'll slowly start learning like everything happens for a reason. I mean, let's say one day, like Chicago's filled with so many of like the CPG brands everywhere. I mean, Pepsi headquarters is here. Coca-Cola is here. Like all these CPG brands are mainly in Chicago, so if anything were to happen, there's always like room, and that's why I chose to live here. Because if I went back to Pensacola, Florida, I'd basically be at a loss and have to move somewhere if I ever left the company.
I mean, when you first started at Northport, do you ever think you're going to be sales account
No.
manager?
I actually wanted to be an economics major, and then they cut the economics major. I love numbers, but like Excel's my best friend, but like I just no, because I remember I think I asked you numerous times, Gabor, what do I do with my life? And you're like, no, and you always told me, you said you can talk to anybody. You need to find someone that you can yap to. And I was like, yeah. And that's what I did. I mean, no one's gonna be, I could sit down with you for like a half an hour and have like a good idea about like what sector and like what I think you should do with your life. But like if I tell you like, oh yeah, you should just go be like a I don't know, data analyst, you're gonna be like, no. So it's like, really, you're the only person that can tell yourself what you want to do. Anybody else? Yeah.
How do you remain for energy?
Caffeine. No, I'm just kidding. What?
What's the food?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty easy for me to turn up the energy around people, but it's really, really funny because I love being alone. Like I love literally just sitting there and like not talking to people. Like after work, I call it my alone time because I just don't have it in me to talk to people. But I think it's a part of like the job and like what you do. Like, could you imagine if I went to someone who's like, "Hi, my name's Aly Lichter." They're gonna be like, "Who is like this girl?" If you make them happy and you radiate energy like them, it's really what I have to do for my job. So I would say caffeine. I worked a little bit with Monster when I was at school like last year. I'd just say I probably drink like 1 or 2 Monsters a day. It's bad. Yeah. But my poor heart. Oh, probably. I don't know. Yeah.
What is your advice for people who but it's just something that
Yeah.
do
I think that when you're in a position and you don't like it, I think that you should, like, I would hope and I would like pray that like your manager that you have or someone that you're constantly like reporting to would take the time in for you to voice like your concerns that you have. It's not always the best and it depends on your relationship with that person. Like my boss, I can literally go to him with like anything and he'll like listen to me. Like I have some really bad days, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've gotten cussed out before at a store, I've been screamed at, I've been like pushed, like I've had it all happen to me. Oh yeah. So, but I would say like if it's like more like you don't have a good relationship with like your manager or like your boss, like I would say stick it out, try to do everything that you can do within that role. And if it's like really killing you and you got to get out of like there and you just can't do it anymore, I would just say start applying for a few jobs here and there a day. In the end, like if you think about it, like I even thought about this the other day, like somebody that I knew from our company like left to go to another company. And I was like, oh yeah, like you work full time, but like at home you can still apply for more jobs. Like you can take a lunch break and do like a job interview. Like I would just say like always keep on looking until you're like happy. Like right now I'm not planning on leaving for till I have to. But I just think like constantly like looking out, you have to look out for yourself. In the end, like if you're not happy, you're not going to perform well. That's like the way that it works in like academics too. Like if you're struggling at home, like maybe it'll relate to your academics. It's just like you have to be happy with what you do. And you have to like love what you do. Or like be determined to do well. You know? I just say like those are like the two ways that it could go. Would you agree? Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
so you did mention that in this job
Yeah.
prior experience. So what made it for you? Like you said you then you like
Yeah, I
what
did.
was in your resume that like stood out like
Honestly, my resume was laid out in a way that it was very numbers orientated. So here, if I go back, because in the end, like I worked as a pro shop assistant and assistant pro at a golf course for 2 years. Like that experience was like great. Like I caddied, so I guess you can have people relationship and management, but that's not really what I harped on a lot. Oh, go back. So within my resume, I had this as a sentence. The 235,000 was bolded. Because that's like an absurd amount. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I've sold not even that much and I've been at this company for 4 months. Then you have 75 plus. If you're going for like a business role, numbers are going to be your best friend. That number's accurate, but like some numbers that I have, do I know? I think I ran more than 75 plus. I thought 75 was a reasonable number to add a plus sign to. I mean, I did more, but you can kind of get a little bit of leeway within resumes. No one, because unless you work for Body Armor and Power, you don't know if that number's right. It is, but like you might not know, you know? So I'd say stick with your numbers. You want to put in like I mean, this is like resume, I feel like 101, but like your main words in your first sentences need to be like an impact word, where it'll like grab you in. I don't know what it was. It was probably honestly that mine said college and that I just graduated. Like it said like May of 2025 because I didn't graduate yet. That's probably why I got rejected. Well, I didn't even know like that, but a lot of companies will go back if they're having a hard time hiring for like a role and they can't find the right person. They interviewed 92 people before. Yeah. Like it's actually crazy how much like the job market's not very good right now. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you guys are looking for jobs or like internships, like start now. Don't pull an Aly and wait until January. That was like the most stressful. You guys can make it so much easier on your guys' self if you guys just start now. I mean, I stress the living daylights out of myself, but it worked for me, but too many long nights of internship applying.
Any more questions? Let's give her a big round of
Alright,
applause.
perfect.
You did not disappoint.
Thank you. I try.
I'll post the recording so you can all watch it. And the people that weren't here can watch it. And I owe you a token for this. Lunch or something. We had lunch last week, but we'll do it again.
Just text me. You'll have 10 minutes away.
And let me stop the recording.